on the podcast for the creatives with Brooke. What are you doing?
Welcome to the For the Creatives podcast. Hello, guys. Welcome back to the For the Creatives podcast. We are on episode 6, okay? And I'm excited to have Kofi here.
Hello, hi everybody.
He's a dope entrepreneur, and he also has his own podcast, Spark the Brain, and y'all should check that out. I saw you last week, but how are you doing in general?
I'm doing good. I feel like I'm in like a space of just like pivoting right now. Mm-hmm. So it's like very uncomfortable, but I feel like, you know, I'm learning a lot in the process of it. So
yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, we're here to talk about your job, your career, right? We're here to talk about what you love to do, especially being a creative. So for those that don't know you, tell us about yourself.
So I'm a creative now. I actually quit my job, my main job 2 weeks ago.
I was literally saying congratulations, like woohoo.
So the job, I was a development coordinator, so I was doing fundraising, and I thought that was like it for me, like this is my passion.
Yeah.
But then I noticed like I was doing everything outside of work at work, and even with events and certain things, but I wasn't like valued really. And I was like, I need to bet on myself. Like I really need to pour into all these lanes and be available. Because nowadays there's certain events that's at 12 p.m. and it's like, I can't make it, I'm at work.
Yeah.
Or I get off work, I want to work out, I want to take a nap first.
Yeah.
So I'm a creative. Entrepreneur.
24/7 now.
Yeah. But I like to say I'm like a legal hustler in a way. So a lot of entrepreneurs, it's like, you know, you need 2 hours of sleep, you need an orange at 5 a.m. Me, it's kind of just like what works best for you, go with it. So.
What is like a day in your life now?
So I'm a parent, so I'm a single father. So days I have my daughter, you know, we'll have fun, you know, nails, whatever she wants to do, she's in control. And outside of that, I reach out to my group chats. I'm part of 2 councils, so I'm fighting against casino. I don't know if I'm able to say that, but yeah, I'm fighting against casino that they're trying to build in Hudson Yards because they're trying to move people out their homes in Chelsea. So me being from Chelsea is kind of like we gotta fight this a little bit because you can put a casino anywhere else.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, you're making a change. Yeah. That's amazing. How old are you?
I'm 30 now.
You should. I love seeing like young Black men just doing their thing, you know, especially considering the fact that, well, you mentioned pivoting, you know, a lot of people, especially creatives, they all kind of have to have a 9 to 5, or at least they feel like they do in order to gather all the things that they want for their lifestyle that they desire to have. So it's great that you found this motivation to, you know, put your all into all that you're doing. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
Of course. I definitely want to say you have this app that you recently just released. Congratulations to that as well.
Thank you.
So tell me more about it, because I definitely want to know more.
Yeah, so my app is based off, I have 10 group chats on Instagram, work opportunities, crypto stocks, lady business, modeling, and I pretty much made an app so that people can all connect on it. You still have access to the group chats, and you can get your business pinpointed. So instead of I have to be out at an event or I have to be on Instagram 24/7, you can get off of that. You can really put your business here, and I'm bringing my network to you, as well as businesses that I'm in work with having discounts on my app. Okay. So say if, for example, you go to Kokomo, you do the Resi through my app, you're going to get 5% off or some type of deal. Okay. So I'm in works with that, and yeah.
So are you like specifically reaching out to these companies to do collaborations with them?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
So that's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah. Do you have any dream companies you would like to work more with?
I'm not too sure yet, because I'm very like iffy with certain companies because sometimes they'll try to like run you instead of like we're doing this together. So I'm gonna see.
Business is so like weird because everybody has their rules, and then you also just want to have that freedom of control, or just creative freedom. But do you feel like you are able to still stay true to yourself while dealing with those, I guess, limitations?
Yeah. I feel like for me, it's just like whatever doesn't work just doesn't work. And a lot of times you'll notice, I compare it to like relationships. If you feel like this person is different than you and you guys are trying to like coexist and compromise, but it feels like you're the only one compromising, it's kind of like this isn't it. As good as you are as a person, I need to find what's better for me. So yeah, it's been pretty easy for me in that area.
Yeah. Do you feel like you handle rejection a little bit easier now over probably like plenty of experiences dealing with that?
So I deal with it more so in a way like I'm expecting no, but if yes, great.
I'm lucky the same way though. Sometimes you just gotta expect it to be a no, and then it's like, oh well, if it is a yes, then shoot. Because I think sometimes we're taught that it had to be the opposite, and then we always get disappointed.
Yeah.
But I think the older that you get, you're just like, I'm not even gonna have an expectation. It's just like, it is what it is.
But right now for me, it's certain days, like if I'm having like a horrible day, I'm not going to go out there and take that extra thing and just like, oh man, like, nah, I'm going to wait on a even day where I'm like, I can deal with a yes or no type of thing today.
Yeah. Do you feel like as you get older, you are hearing more yeses or more nos? Or it varies?
It varies because a lot of times I'm not really asking like straight up. It's kind of like speaking around it in a way. So if you say no, it's like I technically didn't ask.
Yeah.
But if you say yes, then okay, here's what it is. So it's kind of like an even kill with like fundraising, even where it's like instead of asking the donors or vendors for money like straight up like that, you're speaking around all the things that we're trying to do and see if they want to.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's really cool. So I want to know specifically when you were talking about like the group chats, how are those like evolving now that you're transforming that energy into the app?
Yes. So last year I started one group chat and I just threw everybody in there. I made it at work. So I was multitasking at work and my supervisor was all the way down there. I'm like, I did my work early so I could just be on Instagram. And I was like, I should make a chat. So originally the idea was I've been going to a lot of events that people didn't know about and people reach out to me, dang, you should have told me. And I'm like, instead of having to DM a bunch of people, I could just make a chat and everybody just chime in. Because for me, being a young man or, just a young person, being at certain events, it's like, dang, I wish there was more of us there. So that was my first idea. And then when things picked up and people really engaged, I'm like, I need to do research on some of my followers and see where I can like put people together. And the biggest one for me was the ladies. Because the ladies chat, a lot of ladies, it's tough for ladies because it's so much to prove for y'all.
Yeah, for sure.
So a lot of times they didn't want to like connect with each other. They didn't. It's like, no, it's me versus the world. And it's like, no, like, all you guys could connect. All you guys are dope. Like, even if you're doing the same thing, your story is what separates you guys.
Right.
So it's like somebody could be a podcaster too, and you're like, I don't want to help out their pod, but it's like your story is different. That's what makes the pod, your story, and then everything else comes from there. So
I think we're taught like, I don't know if this is controversial, but I think as black, individuals, we're taught that we're not always helping each other, which I think is something that we need to do more of. We always think that we're in competition with each other, and I think obviously we need to do better in, helping each other. One thing I can say about you is you're definitely someone that is willing to help always, which is amazing, and you're gonna like be blessed.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, we need more people like you, more people that are willing to help and not see it as in, I don't know, like some people see it as from a different perspective.
Yeah.
In a negative perspective.
Yeah,
but
it stems from our parents, kind of.
Yeah, it's just like, why can't we just help each other and help each other elevate and grow? It's not about who gets there first. It's literally, why don't we all try to help each other get there? So I think that's very imperative. So how did you get into strictly physically now, the networking events?
So I've always been the kind of person that's just like been at stuff. Like I used to go to parties when I was younger, and I didn't like understand like I'm outside a lot, and I'll get offended. Somebody's like, "You're always outside." Like if I stay home for a week, you won't say I'm always home. So
yeah, that balance is a little hard.
And then I didn't realize because sometimes we'll be doing certain things, we're not realizing what it's becoming, and then I'm like, I'm building a big network now, and I'm not even taking advantage of this network. I'm just having these people, like, let me speak to some of them. Let me build relationships. And then I noticed, building relationships allowed for kind of like people wanting to help you without you even asking because it's like we're close now.
Right.
So, yeah, that's what it's been for me.
It's getting that trust for sure. Do you find it like because I feel like last week you seemed a little like you're really good at it. But it's like, do you find it stressful and like not frustrating, but I don't know, I guess stressful when you're trying to host
Yeah.
parties or events?
So I'm an outgoing introvert. So it's like I have my social meter and I try to create like this business meter. So no matter how low my social meter is, my business meter is up here.
Yeah.
But it's just for me hosting, some people think it's just like, yeah, just have people come out, just that. For me, it's like I look at the numbers, like I want everybody to be there. I want to make sure everybody's having a good time. But then it's like, I still want to have a good time.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking about everybody else the whole time. And it's just like, okay, now I'm tired, but I can't leave because I'm hosting.
Exactly.
So I got to stay here and I might need a drink or do what I got to do and just get through this. So
yeah. It's fun hosting, I will say. It's just obviously, like you mentioned, that stressful part where it's just like you want to make sure everything's going smoothly and you can't really enjoy it for yourself until like everybody's there, everybody's having fun, all that type of stuff. But at least you know that you're making like a difference, you know. So your podcast.
Yeah.
What is it about those conversations that hit differently for you?
The conversations that really hit for me was the owner of the Highline. I interviewed him, Robert Hammond, and he spoke to me about over success, like very quick success, I mean. And I always thought like if you succeed very fast or you was expecting 100, you get 1,000, that's good. And he was like, it's so much more stressful because you weren't prepared for that. So now you have to do so much more. And I was like, okay. And this wasn't always his thing. So hearing that from me, a lot of times we'll see celebrities, certain people, and think like, oh, he was going to be a basketball player since a kid. And it's like hearing like, oh, no, they just started this time. So it's like, it gave me that like safeness of I still have time to do the things that I want to do. Yeah. So
you always have time, and that's where pivoting comes in. Like the things that we want to do from young, we're not always end up doing them sometimes, and things change or external influences change, and they just contribute to that. I was going to ask this question, but what is it that made you start the podcast one specifically?
So me and Brandon, we're both Capricorn, same birthday, December 23rd. Our original name was actually just Podcast 23, but we were like, we should do interviews because like when we're out like networking, we're asking people about work, this, that. And then I was like, you know, most pods are like who you date or like a toxic question. I'm like, you know, the kids are only seeing the negatives. Right. So if they hear podcasts, they're usually like this, that. I'm like, no, I'm an interviewer. I'll try to word it. And it's pretty much, we wanted like people to be able to learn from people with different careers. So, you know, you're hearing from an entrepreneur how they became an entrepreneur or an actor. Yeah. And it also gives you that safeness of like, oh, this wasn't perfect for this person. Yeah. The space they're in right now is where I'm in. Okay, cool. So this allows me to really learn as if I'm, you know, I'm in school pretty much. Yeah.
It's like a learning process. And I think that's a great thing about podcasts like this is that we get to hear people's hindrances throughout the way. I think a lot of times we see the end result and we think that the whole process was like perfect. There was something I was talking about, how usually like when somebody's like really successful, I like to look up their Wikipedia page. Yeah. And I like to see what their journey was but one thing I've realized, it took like 10 years. Or probably more than that. Yeah. But it's like they really started like 10 years ago and then they really made it. It takes 10 years to make it. And so it's really like mind-blowing to see the fact that people are learning and growing, but they also do go through a lot of, you know, obstacles throughout the way. So it just helps the audience relate, you know, because you're not alone, no matter what. So as a parent, an entrepreneur, and creator, how do you juggle like everything, like personally, like without losing yourself in the chaos?
You just got to find like your moments to really like chime into you and even see what feels right in a way, because sometimes we get uncomfortable and we go back to even negative ways of being comfortable where it's like, I need a drink, I'm uncomfortable. Like, no, fill it out. Before I used to run from certain things I was feeling, where now it's like, fill it out, really chime into your emotions, because as a parent, I don't want to be at work and come home and I'm mad at my child running around the house. Right. They're energized, you know? So it's like really separate everything from each other. Right. So it's like work and my daughter, that's separate. This and that is separate. So it's like, you know, it's a lot, but in reality, if you plan it out in a way where it's like a schedule or like a note type of thing, Maddie gets 2 hours, this person gets this, that. It makes it so much easier. Yeah. But I'm still in a new space of pivoting that I'm working on where even the chats, or people call me. Like somebody called me the other day from one of the group chats and asked like business questions. And I'm not in a great space to have a talk, but it's like, this is actually something dope they're doing. Business meter now.
Yeah.
And then when I get home, I'm gonna lay down and take a nap. So
finding that balance is very important so you don't get burnt out too. So where do you see all of this going? Like, what's your vision for the next level of your brand and community, all that?
So it's a tough question because my main Achilles heel before was thinking about outcome all the time.
Yeah.
But in reality, I just want to leave like a legacy. So the group chats, I want people to feel confident in their stuff and always feel like they got support, because a lot of times you'll start a business or you'll start something and you'll get in your head so much, and seeing other people in the same shoes, it's like a brotherhood in a way, or sisterhood. And I want everybody to feel connected. So it's like people in Cali, I want them, like when I come to New York, I know people here, I know who to reach out to. So I just want everybody to feel connected. A lot of time people burn bridges, and I want to like create more bridges more so.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. I think it's very important, especially for to connect with the people that are not just ahead of you, but also on the same level as you. If you're a small creator, like there's nothing wrong with building with other small creators. You don't have to just look for the attention of bigger creators just because they have that following or whatever. Like you can learn something new from everybody, no matter what level they're at. So this is my advice question.
Yeah.
The person who's like, listening and sitting on an idea, what would you say to them to get stuff moving?
Be creative as possible first. A lot of times we'll try to be creative and business-like at the same time, but you'll keep stopping your creative juices. So you'll move from 10% to 20 with the creativeness, take back to 15, and then you'll never really start it.
Yeah.
But once you go full creative mode, then the business, you could chime in.
Right.
So it's like start the essay and then chime in when you're done with it. But if you keep doing one sentence chiming in, this is going to take so much longer. So that and those uncomfortable moments is what's going to build this. So a lot of times we'll fail, or like this isn't working.
Right.
You'll know if something truly isn't working if it erases from your mind. So if it's like a relationship and you're like, I can't get them out of my mind.
Everything is just related to
relationships. Yeah, of course. And,
it makes it easier.
And the first thing for me is, if you can't get this person out of your mind, really understand why.
Yeah.
Because it could just be trauma, or it can be this is really something worthwhile, and see what works.
It's an analytical thing, really. Okay. I like that piece of advice. Okay. So I have a few questions.
Okay.
But they're fun questions, and hopefully, either like them or you don't.
Okay.
What kind of girl are you, the kind of person that you attract? So are you attracted to like entrepreneurs? Are you attracted to, I don't know, any type of industry?
Pretty girls, really. But
okay, one of my guests said that on the last episode, and I said, pretty girls. There's a lot of pretty girls in the world.
There's more to it though. So like I like people who like very ambitious.
Okay.
And people that like truly knows themselves. So even if I don't like this part of them, I can at least like learn to understand it. And if it doesn't work, we could just be friends, or we could be cool. But for me now though, as a parent, single parent, it's kind of like seeing what works best for me in my situation. Whereas some people, they will want me to like raise them too in a relationship.
Ooh,
yeah, some girls like that. They'll expect you to raise them during it, and it's like, I can't raise you. I can support you, but I can't be your parent in this.
Why would you need to raise a grown woman? That's a red flag, honestly.
And that's why I tell like ladies, like one girl said, I'm a princess. I said, no, you're a queen, because if you're a princess, this person might give you all the things you want, but they'll feel like they run you completely. But if you're a queen, you're still going to get those things without having to ask for it.
Yeah.
Princess have to ask for it. Queens will get it no matter what. So that's my advice for ladies too.
I was going to ask if you a player, but I feel like by the way that you're talking, like how to...
So I'm not a player, but I would say like, I'll be outside in a way to a degree where it's like, if I find the right person and we mesh, we're on the same page, cool. But I can't deal with people that's like, I'm not talking to people, I don't want you talking to people, and they are, and I'm just like,
oh yeah, that's
we could be on the same page.
Yeah, exactly. Communication.
Yeah.
Why do you think guys are players?
I think we're players because.
Oh, you said we.
Yeah.
But you just said you're not a player.
Because you said guys, and I'm a guy, you know.
Oh my God.
But I was a player before, I'll admit that. But in reality, it's, you know, we have to learn to love ourselves. Therapy helps with that too. But it's also like taking up for something, because if you can't find the right person, 4 people might equal that right person in a way.
Yeah.
So like this girl might be good at the intimacy side, this girl might be good at business or, you know, ideas and stuff. And it's like, if all y'all just be one person, you know, so you would keep finding what it is until you find what's truly for you.
Yeah.
And it's safe. It's scary out here.
You know, outside is different. I pray I don't relate for a long time because I'm scared of outside. That's cool. Have you ever been in a situationship too?
Yeah, I have.
How many situationships?
I had about like 5. Yeah.
Now, why did you keep going into a situationship, knowing situation?
So it's kind of like, for me, even like when people say friends with benefits, for example, I look at it like, are y'all truly friends in this, or is it just the benefits? So for me, when I was in those situationships, we're communicating, we're on the same page, but it's just like, I know they're not ready to be serious, but I like what we have.
Right.
So for me, I like building like bonds with people where it's like, I don't want to go to the museum with just anybody. I want to go with just this one person. So those situationships was more of, I got used to the person and we just relayed on one area, but we just couldn't get past that hurdle. We tried and then it ended. So.
Okay. So are you like looking for something serious in the near future?
Not necessarily looking. If it finds me, it comes.
Okay.
My issue before was I would really go looking for something and I would kind of like force it in a way. And it's like, now I'm big on seeing people in all their seasons when they're going through stuff, when they lose stuff, because if you go through it with like you get somebody while they're up or when they're good, you're like, oh, this person's amazing, or this, that. And then once something goes wrong, you're like, oh, this is who they really are. Yeah. So I'm being more cautious this time.
That 3-month rule. My last question is, how do you court a girl?
For me, it depends on the person and what they like, really. So some people, so I compare 2 different things. It's either money related, right? Or it's the views more so, visuals. Okay. So some people are like, okay, this person has to take me to catch steak. If you can't take them to catch steak, what's something that will make them feel like, oh, this place looks expensive? Something like more creative, right?
Wait, what?
Yeah, so I get very creative in the point where it's like, you know, we're going to do a bunch of things that make up for not eating at this expensive restaurant. Okay. So it's like you'll go to even a speakeasy, or you'll go to like galleries or something where it's like, oh, this is different. This isn't just a movie date or dinner where by the time we eat, it's kind of like we're on the move. Like we're just grabbing food. Like, let's keep going. So I court depending on what a person really needs. And if it's just money, it's just kind of like, this is, for me, I don't think that should be what people lead on.
No, not at all.
Because if you spend $200 on the first date, next date, they're going to expect $400 in reality. So it's like, it goes better and better. But if you start here, you can't do lesser and lesser. You got to keep it up until you're in a relationship.
Dude, look at your friend smiling. He's like, what? No, because I feel like girls, like, I don't know, personally me, I don't care about any of that. Like, I love a good Red Lobster meal. Like, take me to Red Lobster. I don't need to go to no catch steak, whatever. You know, like maybe once in a blue moon, but I didn't expect you to spend a band on me. Like, you know, I understand we all got things and necessities that we need to pay for. Some girls are selfish in that way. And they're just like, yeah, I want to go to this and take me out. I want to get dressed up. Personally, take me to freaking Taco Bell and that would be perfect for me. Take me to Chipotle and I'll be satisfied, you know, because that's, I mean, I'm high maintenance and bougie, but personally, I like my times where I could just
be chill,
chill. Like, it's okay.
I blame the guys. It'd be some guys like, one girl told me like a guy flew her out. He didn't stay with her in the hotel or nothing.
That's the problem.
And took her out to eat. And the last time I asked a girl on a date, she told me to convince her. And I told her like what we were going to do, this, that. And she's like, that's not enough. You should pay for me to get to the city. And I'm like,
what?
Yeah, like, and I'm
Convince
genuine. Like, I would pick somebody up or whatever, but it's
Yeah.
like convince you.
Convince you.
Nah, I'm good. Have your day.
I think it's the state of like people, like girls are traumatized.
Yeah.
So I think because they're traumatized, they're expecting so much from men, and it's like you guys need to go like above and beyond to show them like they're gonna propose to you like tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it's just like, why are you expecting so much from a man that you barely know?
Because the generation rubs me wrong, because it's like, say if you're about to get married, first question is, what is the ring? Not how did you guys meet?
Yeah.
How was the first date?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
everything now is all about the materialistic things, and it takes away from like love and certain stuff like that too.
Yeah. We're old souls.
Yeah.
Can't be dealing with these
Mm-hmm.
these little boys out here, little girls. Yeah. Basically, those are all my questions. Did you have fun?
Yeah, I had a good time.
That's good.
Yeah, I feel creative now. About to create something when I get home.
Yeah, it was lovely having you. Do you have any last words to say to
Whatever you did so far in life or wherever you want to be, just make sure you give yourself grace. Make sure you give yourself all the things you want in a partner. The affirmations you're asking for, make sure you give that to yourself 10 times more before you look forward to somebody else.
That was very beautiful. Yes. Keep going, y'all. Keep going. But yeah, do you want to also put your Instagram handle?
Oh yeah, make sure you follow me at I am G Marfo. I go by Kofi. My real name is George Marfo, which is why I am G Marfo. And my network is Spark the Brain Network. You can definitely check out my website, sparkthebrainnetwork.com.
What's your nationality, by the way?
So my dad is Ghanaian, and my mom is African American.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like kind of mixed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope. I like that. So that's the Kofi.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the reason why I go by Kofi is me, my dad, my half brother are all George Marfo.
Oh.
So you separate us by our nicknames. Like my brother is Kwaku, my dad is Kwame. So the K's, yeah.
I love that. That's so dope. That's cool. Okay. Well, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all that. And we will see you for episode 7. We have Ayana coming on, and that should release next week.